Have you ever feel like you walked into your own life 10 years after the movie started? That's exactly how I felt the night a 22-year-old twink, abs sculpted by genetics, ambition, and probably zero carbs, looked at me and asked, "So, what's it like being gay at your age, at my age?" As if queerness came with an expiration date, right under my armpit next to the deodorant label. People say queer youth discover themselves? Cute. Adorable. A coming-of-age montage with soft lighting and a Dua Lipa soundtrack? Older queer men? We don't discover, we excavate. We dig ourselves out from under years of silence, expectations, marriages, religions, and whatever internal debris heterosexual society accidentally dropped on top of us. And that night, inside a club full of people young enough to think heartbreak is a personality trait, I realized something. Queer timelines are not linear. They spiral. They collapse. They rebuild. They start over at 19, 32, 47, 58, and sometimes they begin right when everyone else assumes we're finished. I walked into the club like a man entering a parallel universe designed by glitter, sweat, and questionable life choices. The bass punched me in the chest so hard, I thought it was trying to restart my heart. Young guys were dancing like their bones were made of optimism. One of them floated past me wearing shorts so small they were technically a suggestion. That's when it hit me. Queer youth dance like they are the future. Older queer men dance like we survived the past. Two different universes of becoming. Youth lives in exploration. Today I'm masc, tomorrow I might be soft femme, next week I'm spiritually fluid. Older queer men live in reconstruction. Today I'm myself, tomorrow I hope I still have the courage to be. And there I stood, watching years I never got to live swirling around me like confetti. I stepped outside to catch my breath, mostly because my lungs had filed an official complaint. A young guy sat beside me, and maybe 22, quite gorgeous. Skin glowing, dreams intact, emotional trauma still under warranty.
He asked, "So, what's it like being gay later?"
I wanted to say, "Oh, sweetheart, everything cracks when I stand up, but at least now I can afford therapy." Instead, I said, "It's like finally getting the right script, but realizing you performed half the play in the wrong costume." He stared at me, then nodded slowly. The way people nod when they absolutely do not understand but want to appear supportive.
Then he said something that cut through me like a clean incision. "You look peaceful, like you figured things out."
Peaceful. Me, a man who came out late, rebuilt his life twice, and still has emotional flashbacks every time he hears the word family. But maybe, just maybe, I did look peaceful. The real problem wasn't age. The problem was the myth society baked into my brain. You missed your chance. Too late to love freely. Too late to experiment. Too late to be desired. Too late to start over. Society wants queer men to follow a straight timeline. Self-discovery at 16, first love at 18, real heartbreak by 20, marriage at 30, crisis at 40, a slow fade into irrelevance. But queer people don't get those timelines. We get the director's cut. Deleted scenes, alternate endings, emotional reshoots. Our timeline looks more like 32, first real kiss. 41, first apartment that feels like mine. 47, first pride parade without hiding. 50, first love without apology. How can I be late to a life I wasn't allowed to start earlier? Before the young guy, before the music, before the epiphany, there was a man in his 60s inside the club, silver beard, leather jacket, strong like a rock, aura of someone who survived decades we only read about. He leaned toward me and shouted, "Relax, you're not late, you're seasoned." Then he winked and said, "These kids dance like they're made of rubber. You and I, we dance like we've paid bills. That's hotter." I laughed, and he said something I will never forget. "You don't join the queer community at a certain age. You join it the moment you're ready to live." Queer elders don't offer wisdom. They offer permission. Permission to begin again. Permission to stop apologizing. Permission to exist, loudly, quietly, messily, beautifully, at any age. Back inside, an old song began to play. A song I loved quietly as a teenager but never dared to dance to. That night, for the first time, surrounded by strangers who did not know my past, my failures, or my former life, I felt something inside me soften. I thought, maybe I didn't get to be young when the world expected it, but I get to be young now, in the only life that finally belongs to me. And so I danced, badly. But honestly, straight people call it a midlife crisis. Queer people call it Tuesday. Reinvention isn't a phase, it's a survival skill, a queer superpower. We reinvent after trauma, we reinvent after silence, we reinvent the moment someone gives us permission, or the moment we give it to ourselves. Reinvention is not failure, it is continuity, it is the promise we make to ourselves. I will not die as the version they forced me to be. Here is what I finally understood. I didn't start late. I started when I felt safe. And the ability to start over at 40, 50, 60, that is not tragedy. It is a miracle. Maybe I didn't get the youth the world promised, but I got a second one, built on truth, on courage, on the freedom I earned the hard way. And that, my friend, is the kind of youth that never fades.